श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्य वर्यो में सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि. Today's Nyasa Vimsathi Slokam is number 12th Sloka, and Swami clarifies some more confusions, doubts on the Angam and the Angi of the Prapatti, Paranyasam, and also some few Angams are enough, need not be all. Some are required. All those questions, doubts arise, and he clarifies. Panchapyanganya bhijna pranijaguravina bhava panchi prapattehe kaischit sambhavitatvam yadiha nigatitam tatprapatyuttaram syat angeshwangitvavadah palakatanamiha dvitri matroktayascha prashastyam tatra pranidhadati tata sarvavakyaikantyam panchapyanganya bhijnaha. Swami Desikan has written an extensive commentary for this particular slokam because he knew that this should clarify the doubts arising in people's mind. There are still doubts about the Angams and Angi of Prapatti. Swami Desikan clears all these confusions in this slokam. So, the means of attainment of moksha is described as Shadvida Sharanagati Visa. The 6 Shadvida, which includes 6 types. It does not mean that there are 6 types of Sharanagati. It means the 5 accessories, the Panchangam, and 1 Angi, which is the Paranyasam, Nyasam, Atmanikshepam. So, the different names is Nikshepam, Paranyasam, Tyagam, all this characterized by 5 Angams, 5 accessories. This is to be performed once along with the 5 accessories as prescribed in the scriptures at the feet of the most compassionate Parama Dayalu, Parama Karuniko Bhagavan, Divya Dampati, Sriyapati, Sriman Narayanan, who is the Antaryami of all entities other than himself, and who is waiting for an occasion to redeem us. He is waiting, Siddhopayam, he is always there. Nikshepapara paryayo Nyasa panchanga samyutaha samnyasa tyaga ityuktaha sharanagatirityapi. The accessories for entrusting the burden of one's protection to the Lord. Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyatiti vishwasaha goptrutva varanam tatha. Atmanikshepa karpanya shadvida sharanagati. Anukulya sankalpa, a decision on the part of the mumukshu, the aspirant, the person who is performing sharanagati, to be agreeable to the Lord in all his actions, means to perform actions in accordance with shastras, which are Lord's command. To pratikulyasya varjana, giving up totally all activities that are not pleasing to the Lord, that are disagreeable to the Lord. That means doing things which are forbidden in the Shastras are to be avoided. We should not do that. 3 Karpanyam, realizing or thinking of our utter helplessness to gain the object of our life, which is moksha. Mahavishwasam, the intense, unassailable, unshakable, supreme faith in the Lord that he would definitely protect him, grant him. Goptrutva varanam is praying to the Lord, choosing the Perumal to be his protector with a prayer. Shadvida Sharanagati. This is quoted from Ahirbudnya Samhita. It does not mean that Sharanagati are 6 types. It says the Sharanagati should have 5 accessories. Just like the Ashtanga Yogam, the 8 Yogam, the Samadhi is the Angam for the 7 accessories, Yama, Niyama, etc. as we saw in the last one. So these 5 accessories are the natural condition that facilitate, that help, that exhort the mumukshu to offer himself to Divya Dampati for getting protection. In the absence of any of these, the offering becomes not complete, incomplete, impossible. So here the key message is that there can be no confusion between angams and the angi of prapatti. All the 5 angams are to be there at the time of prapatti. Atmanikshemam, Parasamarpanam. The papam required during the post-prapatti period, after the prapatti period, can be removed by prayaschittam, the proper expiatory act, the performance of prayaschittam, expiation of sins. So that is in accordance with Shastra, we need to perform prayaschittam or prayaschitta prapatti. The original prapatti done for moksham does not get impacted or does not suffer a failure or stigma because of the karma performed with the intention of some material benefits after prapatti. The papam acquired during the post-prapatti period, after prapatti period, do not impact the prapatti done for moksham earlier. These papams can be nullified by performing prayaschitta prapatti, but it is not having any damage to one's completed prapatti if the prapatti were done with the 5 angams earlier. So it is accepted there are 5 angams of prapatti. Without them, the angi of prapatti will not be done successfully. We saw anukulya sankalpam, pratikulya varjanam, rakshishyati iti vishwasaha, goptrutva varanam tatha, atmanikshepa karpanye, shadvida sharanagatihi. That slokam says the 5 angams. That's correct. In spite of that, some people have doubts. They say, they opine, they have a view that 5 angams are essential for completion of prapatti. They say if prapatti is deficient in 1 or 2 of the 5 angams, still prapatti can still be completed effectively. They view. Let us study. Pratikulya varjanam, not to perform actions that will displease Bhagavan. Not to perform. Anukulya sankalpam and pratikulya varjanam result out of his pararthya jnanam, or the awareness that he is for the sake of Paramatman alone. On account of this, the mumukshu, the one who performs prapatti, takes a sankalpam to serve the Lord in all possible ways and determines to do whatever is pleasing to him, agreeable to him in accordance with Shastras, to do the duty which has been prescribed in the Shastras and to avoid whatever displeases him. Simple. He realized that the entire universe forms the body of the Supreme and therefore resolves to act in a way which is agreeable to all beings. Characharani bhutani sarvani bhagavat vapu. Atastadhanu kulyam me karyamityeva nichchayaha. So, let us study this. Pratikulya varjanam is not to perform deed that will displease Bhagavan. If we do not stay away from them, Bhagavan gets angered because you continue to do what is displeasing to him, and prapatti will not be effective. If after observing pratikulya varjanam and completing prapatti well, one may commit some acts during the post-prapatti period that are not allowed by Shastras, the ill effects of such deliberate trespasses and transgressions against Shastras can, however, be destroyed by performing prayaschittam, prescribed, either prayaschittam, prapatti also. The completed prapatti will not be shattered once the right kind of prayaschittam is executed. It has been stated that prapatti will be nullified if there is no Mahavishwasam. Actually, Mahavishwasam is so essential. Supreme faith in the saving grace of Perumal is absolutely essential for observing prapatti. This will enable the aspirant to entrust the burden, the bharam, to the Lord with unshakable confidence in him. We repose confidence in the Swami, Sarveshwaran, Sarvajnan, Sarvashakta, Paramakaruniko Bhagavan. As this is helpful at the time of performing prapatti, it will ensure the mumukshu, the aspirant, to be free of any worries, any burden, from all cares, anxieties about his protection anymore after the performance of prapatti. Mahavishwasam, or faith, supreme faith, unflinching, unconditional faith, is thus the very fundamental factor for the actualization of prapatti. So, the Mahavishwasam is, the statement refers to the absolute need for Mahavishwasam before performing prapatti. The maintenance of Mahavishwasam after prapatti does not make it an angam anymore. It only continues for us to enjoy the being his Seshabhutan. The diminution of Mahavishwasam after prapatti will not negate the prapatti performed earlier. One must keep in mind that Anya Devata Upasanam, Idara Devata Bhajanam, and Bhagavata Apacharam can destroy or nullify the prapatti done earlier because it would anger the Lord. Special steps have to be taken to counter these two most important negative factors, which is either a Devata Antara Bhajanam and Bhagavata Apacharam. Because once you, in a practical life, once I go and ask you that you are the only one who can save me from this trouble, please, then the person assures, don't worry, I will take care. You just go home, rest assured. Don't worry anymore. You have told me, no, don't worry. And then he comes to know that I have asked every Tom, Dick and Mary about this problem and asked their help also. Then he would say, what? Why the hell he went and asked everyone else if he had asked me and I assured them? And if the person whom I asked first is capable and he is the only one who is capable, and I know that he is the only one who is capable, and I know that he is the one who is responsible for my protection, then why should I ask other person? That means I lack Vishwasam. So prapatti is like Brahmastram. It will not coexist with the other upayam. The underlying belief is that prapatti performed to gain the goal of moksham cannot coexist with another means done for moksham. We should not say I perform prapatti, also I am doing this, I am doing that, I am going this, I am doing Nama Sankirtanam for moksham. This does not interfere with the prayaschitta prapatti done not for moksham but for the destruction of papam accumulated during the post prapatti time. So prayaschitta prapatti does not violate the prapatti before, but anything done for moksham other than prapatti would violate, because the Brahmastram will get nullified by any other astram along with astram, any other astram along with Brahmastram. So some say that Goptrutva Varnam, one should seek the Lord to become his protector in very crystal clear terms. Prarthana. The Lord is the granter of all benefits that are prayed to him, irrespective of their being agreeable to him or disagreeable to him. Whether he likes it or not, whatever that we pray to him, he grants. Whether they are Purushartham or Apurushartham. For material desire, worldly desire, the Lord grants the benefits only when he is prayed to. One cannot get any benefit without asking for it. The Lakshmi Tantram points out that protection would not be given when it is not sought after. Aprartitam na gopayet. Goptrutva Varnam is a submission regarding one's intention. Goptrutva Varanam nama swabhipraya nivedanam. So, some may say that Goptrutva Varnam and Mahavishwasam as Angi of Prapatti instead of being two of the Angams of Prapatti. Some say these two are the Angi. Others say the Palan of Moksham can result from the practice of 5 Angams alone. Some others refer only to 2 or 3 Angams instead of the full set of 5. What is the correct position? The answer is 1. There are 5 Angams for Angi of Prapatti. 2. When one or other Angam is highlighted, it means it does not negate the other Angam. It gives the pradhanyam, the importance, the significance. It is giving the exaggeration of the importance of that Angam or Angams. When I say Mahavishwasam is essential, it does not mean that other Angams are useless. It is. Mahavishwasam is important pradhanyam, primary. When Goptrutva Varanam is pradhanyam, primary. So next objection is the first angam of prapatti is anukulya sankalpam. That is promised to observe karmas that will please the Tiruvullam of the Lord. It is fine that the Chaitanan commits to perform only acts recommended by Bhagavat Shastram that would please the Lord. But once I have done prapatti and Lord has granted moksha, I have pledged that I would do and Lord has granted. Now, should I continue this angam after prapatti? The answer is anukulya sankalpam is useful to prevent us from committing papams that will interfere with our prapatti. Because we have taken a pledge to do what is prescribed in Shastras, what is pleasing to the Lord. And after prapatti, even though he has granted moksham and assured aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha, do not worry, do not lament. It's an assurance given by the Satya Sankalpan. However, if we continue to stay away from the Shastras and do usual way like a rascal doing other things, itara vishayams, and unacceptable thing, unpardonable apacharams, then absolutely we are committing papams. And we would have to undergo that. So we should stay put in accordance with Shastras as far as practicable. So another doubt about that impact of the performance of kamya karmas, karmas for the material desire, worldly pursuit, and accumulations of papams during the post-prapatti period. Will once prapatti be negated by these two acts, the kamya karmas or the papams during the post-prapatti period? The kamya karmas and papams during the post-prapatti period will not lead to unsuccessful prapatti. Will not. It does not imply that prapatti nishtha will diminish if kamya karmas and acquisitions of papams happen. Prayashchittam will destroy those papams acquired, the intentional papams during the post-prapatti period. The performance of kamya karmas is regrettable, but that do not negate the prapatti performed earlier. Why it is regrettable? Because we have already placed the burden of protection of ourselves and our and the fruit of the protection, and we have no bharam, no bhayam, because then we should not be worried about the rest of the life. If anything good comes, it is because of the punya which is getting dissolved. If anything bad comes, it is because of the papam which is still remaining that gets dissolved until the end of this life. So, Ramanuja used to say that you should not bother about the Sharira Yatra. If you are worried about the Sharira Yatra, that means you don't believe that the karma has already been diminished. You don't believe, because if you are worried about it, it will come as per the prarabdha karma which is yet to get dissolved. You have to undergo. Acharya Purushas and Parama Vedigas, Bhagavatottamas, when they get ill, they used to always say, prarabdha karmam moliyarde. They never feel weak or depressed. They say the prarabdha karmam is getting dissolved. So that's part of the phase. And if you are worried about the Atma Yatra, that means you did not have Mahavishwasam. You have become a Nastikan. So that is the way we need to think about the Sharira Yatra and Atma Yatra. The performance of Kamya Karma is regrettable, but they do not negate the prapatti which was performed earlier. So these 5 accessories are most helpful at the time of performance of prapatti. They are inseparable with the performance of prapatti. Adiyan, Dhanyosmi, Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline, Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.